Good morning, Western Washington, and happy Monday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and we've got a very active day ahead today as this storm gathers strength offshore, moves toward Western Washington, bringing rain and potential thunderstorms out in front of it, and then strong winds across the region this evening with more heavy rain and mountain snow as well. You can see as we start with the satellite imagery here, look at this beautiful storm offshore, just a classic storm shape here. You can see how we got the classic comma cloud. You've got the warm front spreading rain up across the area ahead of the storm. You've got the poisonous tail of the bent back occlusion down here, and you've got some convective showers in there as well. This is going to be a really crazy weather day and into tomorrow morning as well, as this storm starts to weaken but moves very close to Western Washington, with that low likely moving onshore over the northwest tip of the Olympic Peninsula and moving into Vancouver Island and up into British Columbia over the San Juans and stuff like that, casting strong winds across parts of Western Washington and Western Oregon, especially on the coast. Taking a look at the radar this morning, you can see that first band of rain, moderate to heavy at times, is moving up through Portland right now, has got to about Kelso, and is moving up the I-5 corridor toward Olympia and Tacoma and the Puget Sound area there. We will have some heavy rain with this over the next few hours, and then we will turn showery with thunderstorms possible. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So starting here with the European model, you can see the overall pattern. The storm strengthens offshore, starts to weaken as it moves into the area, bringing rounds of heavy rain and mountain snow, casts that strong pressure gradient across western Washington Monday night into Tuesday morning with the strong winds. Showers don't wrap up until early Wednesday morning, and then will dry out for Wednesday and part of Thursday before a weak system moves through. We may get more active toward the beginning of March, but the rest of the week looks mostly dry until about Saturday morning there. So we got a while to look at that though. So that's just the overall pattern. Now let's dive into this storm. So starting here with the high resolution rapid refresh model, you can see we're looking at simulated radar, and you can see as we go through this morning, you get that rain moving up through Portland and Chehalis and toward Olympia there, moves toward Olympia and then Tacoma and Seattle. And then you start to mix in some heavy showers as well that could be thunderstorms. Look at some of these ones in the Willamette Valley. Then they move up through parts of western Washington. You get another potential round of thunderstorms around 3 to 4 p.m. after that initial round between 12 to 2 p.m. You can see some areas of mountain snow as well, potential for some big thunderstorms over parts of eastern Washington. There's even a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms for areas from Pasco over toward Pullman and Lewiston and down toward Pullman and Baker City in Oregon. And you can see then we get some more heavy showers as the low moves in tonight, with very heavy mountain snow possible at times, heavy rain in the lowlands, and very strong winds possible as well. Then you can see how as the low moves in, this area of showers between Olympia and Portland kind of lingers, bringing some enhanced totals for that area. Showers will start to wrap up by the time we get to Tuesday afternoon, with some convergent zone activity possible, which could bring additional heavy snow to places like Snoqualmie and Stevens Passes all the way through 7 to 8 p.m. tomorrow. So we got a lot to watch over the next 48 hours. Taking a look at lightning potential here on the high-resolution rapid refresh model, you can see that we get some potential for lightning with those storms around 12 to 2 p.m. And then as we go to 3 to 4 p.m., even more lightning potential across all of western Washington and western Oregon. That potential seems to decrease as we go into tonight, but remains possible some of the showers into even early Tuesday morning there. So if you do see some big showers moving in, be sure to watch out for the lightning threat and be sure to go inside if you can. And here is the European model looking at the same thing. You can see it shows a potential of lightning across the Willamette Valley this afternoon. That continues across parts of the coast, potentially up parts of Puget Sound as well, before that lightning threat diminishes as we go into tonight and early tomorrow morning. And this is worth noting as well. This is the high-resolution rapid refresh model. It's been showing this, that before the main wind starts, these thunderstorm showers that will be moving through will be mixing down some very strong wind gusts from higher up in the atmosphere, potentially gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour with any of these thunderstorm cells that move through. And you can see that here across parts of the Puget Sound area. And then as we go to about 5 p.m. today, those strong winds will already be increasing on the coast. So let's take a look at that next. We're going to take a good look at the wind, but first, real quick, just want to mention that although our main atmospheric river is over, this system's going to have a lot of rain with it. We're likely looking at another inch of rain for areas from Seattle northward, maybe about 3/4 of an inch for the rain-shadowed areas around Whidbey Island and Bellingham there. you can see 1.5 inches or so along the coast, and then from Tacoma southward to Olympia, about 1.5 inches. From Olympia down to Portland, you're looking at 1.5 to 2.5 inches, especially between Olympia and Kelso there, with that area of enhanced rainfall showing up. And one thing to note is that we've gotten a lot of rain over the past 24 hours, and even more across the past 48 to 72 hours, like over 2 inches across a lot of the region. And adding this rain to it and then bringing in the strong winds is going to increase the power outage potential and the tree damage potential due to that saturated soil, which makes it easier for trees to fall and stuff like that. So we got to be really careful about that as we go through this windstorm. So taking a look at the windstorm, we're looking at sea level pressure here on the European model. You can see about right now the storm is off Central Oregon, about where it is. You can see it continues to strengthen as we go through this afternoon while it's parallel with the northern Oregon coast. Starts to weaken as it moves closer to the Washington coast and Vancouver Island. Starts to move inland early Tuesday morning there, casting a strong pressure gradient across parts of western Washington and along the Oregon and Washington coast before moving inland over British Columbia through tomorrow. So taking a look at maximum wind gusts, this is the European model. You can see it shows winds gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour for areas from Portland up toward Olympia. From Olympia all the way up through Bellingham, you can see gusts of 45 to 55 miles per hour. This shows 55 miles per hour in Seattle, and along Whidbey Island, the San Juans, potentially 60-plus mile-an-hour gusts over the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Then take a look at the Washington coast. You can see 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts for the entire coast. But this is going to be a trend we're going to see, that from basically ocean shores southward down the Oregon coast, those gusts could be more of 60 to 70 miles per hour. And you can see that the Willamette Valley also gusting 45 to 55 miles per hour here. So this alone would be a strong windstorm for Seattle with damage potential with those gusts over 50 miles per hour, especially with the prolonged period that those winds will be gusting from late Monday night through early Tuesday morning. We're looking at generally peak winds starting to ramp up between 7 to 9 p.m. tonight, continuing through 1 to 5 a.m. Tuesday. So now taking a look at the comparison between the high-resolution forecast, you have the NAM model on the left and the high-resolution rapid refresh model on the right. And both of these forecasts are calling for winds gusting to 60 miles per hour across the Seattle metro area, in addition to multiple areas of 70 mile per hour gusts along the Washington and Oregon coasts. So starting with the NAM model here on the left, you can see gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour from ocean shores northward, but from ocean shores and Hoquiam southward along the northern Oregon coast, southern Washington coast, you can see gusts of 65 to 75 miles per hour, strongest on the Long Beach Peninsula and near Westport, and then down toward Astoria. And then you can see on the NAM model, these winds gusting 60 to 65 miles per hour move all the way into Seattle, and then Olympia and Tacoma, and then down toward Portland as well, 55 to 60 miles per hour. Areas Everett northward gusting 50 to 55 miles per hour in this setup. And then you can see even in the mountains gusts up towards 60 to 70 miles per hour, which could bring some blowing snow potential and very low visibility across the passes. Now taking a look at the high-resolution rapid refresh model here on the right, you can see again 50 to 60 miles per hour for the north coast. From about Grace Harbor County southward, those gusts go up to 65 to 75 miles per hour. Strongest again on the beaches from ocean shores through Westport, Grayland, Long Beach Peninsula, and then down into Oregon. And then you can see this forecast also shows winds gusting 55 to 65 miles per hour, basically from Bellingham all the way down to Olympia and down toward Kelso and Chehalis and Centralia there, and then 50 to 55 miles per hour for the Willamette Valley, and then again 50 to 60 miles per hour in the mountains. So it is kind of concerning to see both of our high-resolution forecasts going for 60-plus miles per hour in the metro area. If this were to verify, and this is still a little bit of a higher-end solution at this time, but it's notable that both these forecasts are showing it. If this were to verify, this would be a damaging windstorm for parts of western Washington with widespread power outages. If you're looking at 60-plus mile per hour gusts across a widespread region of western Washington, that is not something that's happened recently in the last few years here. So this would represent a lot of power outages, a lot of tree damage, especially after all this rain. So definitely stay tuned. I'll probably do another video or a brief live stream tonight just to go through the latest forecast ahead of this wind. But we got a couple other things to take a look at here. So as this big storm is offshore, it's going to generate some big swells, and you can see these swells moving toward the Washington and Oregon coast tonight into tomorrow morning there. This is just significant wave height. So your average wave height, you're looking at 20 to 30 feet across the Washington and Oregon coast, and you can see those elevated waves continue into tomorrow evening before they start to diminish there. And if you look at maximum wave heights, which shows the maximum possible waves, this purple color is 45 to 50 foot waves. So especially overnight into Tuesday morning, you could be looking at waves, a few waves in the breaking sets of 40 plus feet. This is going to cause coastal flooding, tidal overflow, beach erosion, and very dangerous conditions on the beaches all the way through Tuesday evening. So if you're out on the coast, definitely watch out for that, in addition to the very strong winds, potentially over 70 miles per hour. And, of course, this storm is going to bring down the snow levels as it is colder than an atmospheric river, and we're likely looking at 1 to 2 feet of snow at Stevens and White Passes. This forecast is not accurately showing the temperatures. It's likely to be very little snow at Snoqualmie Pass with the initial bands of rain moving through with this storm, likely only 2 to 4 inches or so at Snoqualmie Pass, but the convergence zone activity on Tuesday could bring a lot more snow to Snoqualmie, potentially up towards 6+ inches there as we go through the day Tuesday, with some of those convergence zone bands moving over some of the mountain passes. So big heads up if you're crossing the mountain passes today. Be very careful, especially on Stevens and White Passes, where those enhanced snowfall totals are likely due to elevation. And then one final reminder here from National Weather Service Seattle: store or secure loose items before strong winds, including patio furniture, sports equipment, trash cans, trampolines. And I would add to this, please be sure to charge up all of your devices, your phones, your tablets, your laptops, anything like that. Have flashlights and candles prepared just in case we do get those really strong winds that could bring power outages across the area. So thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe here on Western Washington Weather and follow for my frequent updates today on Blue Sky, Twitter, and my Western Washington Weather Facebook group. The links to all of these are in the description. And again, I will probably do either a short live stream or another forecast video tonight, probably in between 6 to 8 p.m. So stay tuned for that, and I will talk to you all later.